Okay, YouTube. Hey, so it's Sunday night, and Voltaire's playing downtown tonight at the Factory, which is also Cafe 331 on Forsyth Street, which is a restaurant or a cafe that I've eaten at before a couple years ago, but I haven't gone there as a club before. But Emily swears that Voltaire's live show is much better than just watching the videos online, which is all I've done so far. And I hear he's pretty funny, so I'm going to go enjoy it with Emily and Janice, Jemick, for what will Jemick do. And I'm just going to capture a little bit on there. You won't see a lot of me. I'll just film what I see of him and let you guys see that, okay? So I hope you enjoy whatever I film tonight.
Jville Punk's video blog!
Let's do a quick sound check because I was too busy drinking when I was supposed to be sound checking. That's a guitar, it seems to work. I could probably use a little brighter in the monitor. That's good. Let's do a little vocal test here. Michael Rainey was ill the day they stood still, but he told us where we stand. On our feet! And Flash Gordon was there in silver underwear. Claude Rains was the invisible man. Probably a little less guitar in the monitor, and a little brighter overall vocals and guitar. Oh, then something went wrong for Fay Ray and King Kong. They got caught in a celluloid jam. Then had a deadly... You know what's the difference between jam and jelly? I can't jelly my cock down your throat. Then had a deadly peg.
Out here it could be, yeah, it could be up a little bit. It's good, it could be up just a little bit.
I'm gonna put this giant gay spiral right on my face. Yeah. See that thing there? Let's kill it. I'm kind of feeling like there wasn't enough light on my face because I wasn't feeling uncomfortable. Now I feel a little bit more uncomfortable. Now I feel like I'm being interrogated by the gay Soviet CIA. Alright. Precarious, singing your death, devil, evil songs. I'm just kidding, kid. Welcome to hell. Enjoy the buffet. Devil, evil songs. Hell, you know that's how I get along. The world is full of sinners, so how can it be wrong? Singing devil, evil songs. Oh my God, I'm gonna tell you the coolest fucking part of my whole trip. The coolest part of the whole trip was I was sitting in the hotel room in Brisbane, Australia, and the promoter called me and he said, "What would you like to do tonight before the show?" I said, "Fuck all, just maybe get a drink, a snack, and then just go to the show." "Well, we have lots to do here in Brisbane, Australia." So, "Sure you do. Like what?" I'll kick a koala. There's somewhere I can go and kick a koala. He's like, "No, there's no koala kicking, but we do have a bat colony that lives at the park, basically in the trees above this river, and if you stand on a certain bridge at dusk, the bats fly over your head." And I thought, that sounds like fun. Now, I'd like to point out, has anyone here ever been to Austin, Texas to see the bats there?
Yeah.
There's some bats. A bat colony that lives under a bridge in Austin, Texas. And I play there at least once a year, so, sometimes I go to the bridge and stand under the bridge and watch the bats come out. I'd like to point out that these bats in Austin, Texas, where everything's so fucking big, are about 2 inches long. Now the reason I point this out is because Austin's very proud of their bats, and they should be. But this promoter, he puts me in a car and we drive down to a high school. And I think, this is gonna suck. Because it involves high school. It's just, nothing good's gonna come of this. Right? And we're gonna go look at some bats by a high school. Now, here in America, we go to see bats, like real bats. We go to like a zoo or some kind of crazy rainforest reproduction that they recreate indoors somewhere. Exactly. That, whatever you said. That's totally right. I think he said Voltaire's a homo. Cave formation. I'm talking about the fake caves. You know, like they make a big rainforest inside of a building and you go to look at like, you know, real big bats, right? We get out of the car. We're walking down a little path next to a high school, and there happen to be some trees by the water. It's not a river, it's like a creek. I should also point out that any animal in Australia will kill you. Pretty much any animal will fucking kill you. Except for koalas, but they love fucking with tourists. So everyone told me they were called drop bears. And they said they're called drop bears because when you're walking by, they drop down from the trees and claw off your face. Don't think it's true. Walking down a path, and I look up at the trees, and I see these weird fruit hanging from the trees. They're about this big. And they're black, and I'm like, I didn't know eggplant grew on tall trees. Big fucking black fruit like this. And the sun is setting. I feel like there should be a vampire song playing now. The sun is setting, and all of a sudden the fruit starts to move. And they just start coming to life. And that's when I realized they're not fruit, they're fucking bats. This fucking big. In some trees next to a high school. And I'm just looking, I'm like, holy shit. I mean, they're like, spreading their wings, and they're like bickering monkeys. Like, bickering, and I decide, like an asshole, that I should get closer. Like, now I walk into the trees. Now, as I mentioned, I had been warned that everything in Australia will kill you. So I'm walking and I'm looking up at the bats, and there's like something kind of blurry in my immediate vision, and I focus my eyes on it, and I realize I'm 3 inches away from a big spider web. And I'm not shitting you, the spider was about this big. Now, I think that one would only, like, you know, you'd have to get like your leg amputated. It wouldn't totally kill you, so that was safe by Australian standards. But the bats just fucking come to life. And I'm telling you, wingspans like this, and then they just take flight, and they're circling over my head. And there's this one bat that's just kind of crawling around on the tree, and I'm looking at it going, oh, how curious, a little bat. Just crawling around on the tree, and then all the others are hovering over my head, and I was like, oh, I get it, it's a baby. Oh, and these are gonna fucking eat me. And I start trying to get out of there, and the promoter says to me, you know, you have nothing to worry about. I can't do an Australian accent. He's just gonna be German. You have nothing to worry about. I can't even do German. He's gonna be Hindu, okay? You have nothing to worry about, my friend. He says to me, you have nothing to worry about. They're fruit bats. They only eat fruits or anything that's blooming. And it was at that point that I realized that I had been called a bloomin' fruit many times. Just fucking ran. But holy shit. Imagine going outside. When we say bats, you know, we talk about these things that are this big. In Australia, really, like pretty much in any city, the bats that are flying around in downtown are like this. Fucking huge. Batadactyl. I like that. I'm gonna consider that stolen. So I would like to now sing a song that has nothing to do with bats. I was alone and I needed a day cemetery gate when I saw a sign that said for a good time. Take a left down in Tombstone number 8. Went through the gateway and I'm pretty sure I saw some eyes picking out of the sepulchre. I took a step into the tomb of old repute. That's where I met her, the zombie prostitute.